one, and we are recording. Welcome, folks. Guys, it's been a while, but it was the holidays. Now we're back. New year, first week, second. We're into the second week of the new year. And we are here to jump into chapters 17 through 21 of Chainsaw Man. Now we know it's a hit anime, but that's what we're going to be breaking down today. And you are joining us. We are the Page Turners. I'm Baron J67,
And I'm Walt Lando.
and we took a break, but we're back, and we actually have quite a bit to talk about. It's going to be everything from a lot of bodily fluids, a lot of intake of fluids, and a lot of ex, outtakes or exporting of fluids. I'm making myself queasy.
Now that I
There,
think about it, and there's only one person at the receiving end.
yeah, it's always one. Denji's a dirty boy. He's a dirty boy, and it's crazy how he really does get what he asked for. He should be a life lesson to us all to be mindful of what you are asking for and what you're looking for in life, because there's a strong chance you'll get it, and he's getting it in spades. Like, I have my Fire Force hoodie on. He's got plenty. Walt's got plenty of manga in the background, and we're
Chainsaw
ready to
Man
nerd out.
is up here, I think. That's
See,
Chainsaw Man. I only have 5 volumes. I'm looking for 6. I never find it.
are you one of those people that buys, like, that orders online, or is it like when you go in person and you get it?
It depends. I try to do it in person because it's fun, and I'm like, oh, let me see what I find.
Yeah,
It's so because online, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna find it. I can order the entirety of it
no
online, no
problem. Yeah,
problem. But I
it's
don't
not
need to
special.
read it. Yeah, no, I'm reading it on the app. This is just for collection's sake, because I want to support Tatsuki.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't. I'm not ordering it. I'm one, two, three, four, five, and then I have 9, and then I don't have everything because I think part one ends in volume 11. So 11 volumes for part one of Chainsaw Man, and then part two hasn't been serialized, I think. But
Got
it's
you.
it's it's coming out on the app already.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way. Like, I just went to an event this past weekend and bought some indigenous books. We have Anoka, by Shane Hawk. It's not a graphic novel, but it's a horror book. And shout out to Shane Hawk. We will be supporting your work. I'll be
That cover
reading it
goes
and talking about
hard.
it. Yeah. That cover is sick, bro. But yeah, and so clearly, guys, we nerd out, we read, and we love mangas, the page turners. Let's jump into it. So where we left off, all so many weeks ago,
Nearly 2 months ago.
right? Crazy time that went by quick,
Yeah.
but it made sense. I mean, you got Thanksgiving, Christmas, and all the other holidays in between
New
the New
Year's,
Year's, and now we're
Hanukkah,
back.
Kwanzaa.
Boom, and now we're here. But yes, so the team is stuck in the hotel with an eternity devil. Almost said demon. An eternity devil.
We'll say demon. It doesn't matter.
No, because when I think demons, I'm thinking of Jujutsu Kaisen, and
The
that's
curses,
coming back.
though.
Huh? Oh, there are
The
curses.
curses.
Oh, so do I gotta think of Demon Slayer? Why do let me stop before
Demon
I get
Slayer,
canceled?
demons.
Let me stop before I get canceled. I got beef with Demon Slayer because the anime, not because of the manga, and it's just in my opinion, it's the worst paced anime of all time. It is almost there with like and one me here. Let me for folks who instantly got mad and clutched their pearls. Let me tell you something. The fact that we haven't seen Michael Jackson or Muzone or whatever his name is, phase,
Yeah.
yeah, the fact that I've seen him 3 times amongst the whole season, this is the weirdest anime ever. Almost to a point where I don't even want to call it an anime, because normally you interact with the main villains every other episode, or you at least see their face. Like, heck, you hear Cobra Commander at the end of every episode of G.I. Joe. Like, but it just
That is indeed a can of worms. What I will say is that it's the I mean the manga the chapters are kind of like I'd say that the Demon Slayer stretches out the manga because the manga uh there's a sequence in did you see season 2?
No.
Okay, there's a sequence in season 2 that takes like a couple of seconds. And it's like this intense fight scene, and there's this one moment of the fight scene that takes like a good chunk, like 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And in the manga, it's one page. And they stretched it out to be like this enormous, like very epic scene. What I will say is that I compare it to My Hero that because you don't really see All for One that much. You interact with Shigaraki and all these people.
But let me tell you this though. I don't, and that's a prime example, and that borderline stumps and kills my whole argument because I don't mind My Hero. But
Maybe you just don't vibe with Demon Slayer though.
no, no, no. What I will say is, even though in semi spoiler, we know All for One is the ultimate bad guy, but they don't push it like that.
Oh, okay, it's like very subtle.
Shigaraki is the ultimate evil. He is the villain, not even just the villain for the moment. They push it like up to this point, without getting into the weeds. They push it
Manga
as
or anime.
anime.
Okay.
Because that's why I said we're not getting into the weeds. Because the manga, that's a different story. Like you know what's going on, and it's he's in the shadows very much as similar to Demon Slayer, but it just feels so. And I think even outside of the boss, I just feel like Demon Slayer has such strange pacing. And that's just my thoughts. Now, do I think it's innovative with the way they mix mediums? Hell yeah, of course. The art style, top tier. It's some of the best stuff to look at.
The anime, because
The anime.
the manga, it's his debut. It's
Yeah.
Gotoge's debut manga, and I think they do a good job with the story. It's a very it's an easily digestible story.
Yes.
What I think that it excels because sometimes it's the type of manga that you read and you're seeing the fight and you're like, I don't know what I'm reading. It's like when you read Attack on Titan, it's like, what is this? Are they fighting? I can't make out what they're doing. But then you watch the anime, it's like, oh, this is.
I'll say that this. I almost call it Attack on Demon. Demon Slayer is definitely this decade's like Dragon Ball Z. That's what I'll say.
It has the same cultural impact in Japan. I've seen a lot of how it's like it's exaggerated. It's insane.
Yeah, and then even in the love, like you'll catch random people walking around with the earrings. Like, yeah, like it's definitely embedded in a way to where I remember people wearing Dragon Ball Z button down t-shirt all over print t-shirts. And yeah, band like I remember this. So I'm not hating on it. I just think it has very strange pacing and it just sits weird with me. And maybe it's because my palate's changed. Maybe it's because I've seen story-wise better anime. And
if you look at Demon Slayer's story, it's like okay, this is so there's 3 tiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Demon Slayer's story is like here, and its animation, it's up here.
Yeah, 100%.
But then, if you have things like Chainsaw Man, that it's all here, no matter what. And then you have Berserk, that's here, no matter what in terms of manga. And anime, it dwindles.
Oh god, the walking.
Oh no.
Look,
clink, clink, clink. No. That's horrible. It's horrible.
Guts.
No.
Okay, here it comes.
I think age definitely influences because right now I don't watch as much anime as I used to. I just watch very specific, catered to me, like because it used to be where let me see how much anime I can watch. Now it's like Chainsaw Man, maybe Blue Lock. I haven't gotten into it. Recently, they added on Netflix the first 33 episodes. I started Monster.
Ooh.
That is a story that is so sad that it's in only manga and anime form because I know people. This doesn't translate to live action the same way. I don't think so. Like, it's so tied, like grounded to reality and so real and so psychological.
And that's the hard stuff to sell. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I'll watch a planet blow up and a whole existence disappear. Like we watched the Namex. We were kids watching the Namex get obliterated.
Like the Namex, Naruto, and the ninjas. And
Yeah, like we watched this no problem. Like no problem, no hesitation, no. Of course, it hurt to see your favorite character, but it wasn't the concept of I'm watching a whole species disappear. But because it was such a far-fetched idea, it was easy to digest. But as soon as you make it grounded, like I think of like Erased, like the idea of somebody getting kidnapped, like it's not
a silent voice, someone getting bullied for being deaf.
Yeah, like oh bro, why did I just I like when I want a good cry, I'll watch that. Like real talk, like that. Yeah. Oh, I don't know if I could read it.
Very different.
I don't know if I could read it, bro. I don't think I could do that to myself.
There's only 7 volumes, and I have them all.
Ooh, I don't think I could do that to myself, just because how heavy the anime is. Didn't they do a long form and a shorter form one? Or am I tripping?
I know they did a movie.
Yeah, they did a movie. That's
they have the manga, and I don't know if they'll ever adapt it the way that it's the actual story how it is. But
okay, so we went off on a complete tangent. So back to bodily fluids and devils. So Denji figures out that the eternity demon feels pain. Yep. But it doesn't matter because it can go on for eternity, or so it thought. Denji, yeah.
It doesn't want to.
It doesn't want to. Denji made an eternity demon tap out. Definitely sounds like a title of a video.
Never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
How this man told someone that could literally sustain this forever and not die. Like he made him say, "Quit! Like quit, fight back!
Like kill me, please." Denji's a monster, bro.
Yeah.
Like, well, look, obviously.
To the point where in these chapters, who was it, Kishibe? He said how he's the guy that even the devils fear.
Yeah. And what tripped me out was I like that they addressed a lot of the nuance, right? Like, so after after Denji basically tortures this devil for who knows how long. I don't think they said exactly how long they were in there, did they?
3 days.
3 days. So 3 everlasting looping moments, days worth of moments. Denji is full on Chainsaw Man mode and created like a mesocosm, like a cycle of absorbing blood and losing blood through killing and damaging over and over this devil. So this big grotesque thing, Denji's just in the middle of it, chainsaws revving. Like over and over.
He loses a lot of blood when activating
powers.
But
he was drinking the blood.
Yeah, from the demon, a devil. And that gave him his strength back, and then rinse and repeat. And he reveled in that sensation of making it like scream and in pain, and to the point when the devil was like, "Hey, I'm good. Like you can kill me. Here's my heart. Like kill me right now." Even Denji was like, "Oh, already?
Yeah.
It's only been 3 days." Like,
yeah.
That's just. I assume that's just like a kid just being like very hyped up and because he's
being able to use your power.
Yeah, he's like what, 16?
15? Yeah, he's a kid.
He's still a teenager, and he's amongst what I assume are either some adults and some young adults. I know Himeno is an adult.
I think most of the team is adults outside of him. I want to say Aki might be the next youngest.
And I think Power might also be
a teenager. Yeah, mentally she's a teenager for sure.
But But yeah, they initially they wanted to kill Denji because the devil wanted him and wanted him dead, and they had this whole conflict. Kobeni wanted to kill him. Aki got in the way and got stabbed, and
Yep.
he was like, I need him. He wants to kill the gun devil. I need him. That's the whole point. I mean, the whole point of everything ever going on is to kill the gun devil.
Yep.
That, I mean, it makes sense.
And then basically, don't we find out that the gun devil, or not the gun devil, but they were trying to lure Denji there. Yeah, they were trying to lure Denji, like the Eternity Devil's whole purpose. And we knew that on chapter 16. The whole purpose was to get Denji to be able to eat Denji. It would have let him go. And that's once again why Kobene and what was the dude's name?
I forgot the other friend. I know Aki, but I don't know the other guy.
Yeah, they basically started losing it because they wanted to get out of there. And I don't blame them, but at the same time, like, I get.
Yeah, I mean, you're desperate and you're sane or insane. I don't know. Everyone's crazy,
right? I mean, spending 3 days being tortured by a demon, not necessarily physically tortured, but mentally tortured. Like, you're stuck in the same time frame for 3 days straight, and they probably lost track of time. Like,
who ate all the food?
Yeah.
Paul was like with her model. He was like, all our food, and she's like, I didn't eat it. And she's like,
yeah, you got food stuff, bro.
It was Denji. And Aki was like, really? You're lying?
Like we can see you. Like
the crumbs. You're like, I like there's like comedy, and it's not intentional. Like, it's intentional, but it's not like
it feels natural. Yeah, exactly. It feels very natural. It doesn't feel like they work too hard to make it work, because that would be kind of cheesy. There you go. It's not cheesy.
It's not cheesy.
It's not cheesy. It's good. Makes sense. Like, it's definitely what is it? Gallows humor. Like,
sure. Yeah.
Definitely full of that. But what threw me off, not threw me off, but once again, I like that they dive into detail about the world without like prepping you. Like, okay, this is why this happens. Like, they legit were talking. Yeah,
like they just talk about things as a matter of fact.
Yeah, like when they were talking about. So after they exit, I want to say that Aki and Himeno start plotting on, hey, we need to go out drinking. We need to celebrate. Yeah. And we
like morale and all that.
Yes, but what tripped me out is they were already expecting Kobene and or Kobeni. Is it Kobeni or Kobene?
Kobeni.
Okay, Kobene and the other dude to quit, like, just on the general principle that they tried to kill Denji. Like, regardless of why they tried to do it, regardless of how beneficial it would have been for everybody, the fact is they still tried to kill one of their teammates. And it was an extreme situation, more than they bargained for. They thought they were safe rolling with Aki and Himeno. Like, you got some strong people. So they went into that situation thinking it was just going to be another day at the job. When it turned out to be one of those crazy make or break moments where we all could die. Even though they all could die at any given moment. Because, I mean, you're hunting devils.
Except for, I think, well, I think it depends also how you kill them, because I know that Denji and Power, they're like pretty tough to kill. Like, devils in general, you have to go into a very specific part of their body to kill. Yeah. I assume for Denji would be Pochita, like the heart.
Yeah.
For Power would also be like wherever the blood devil is, like nesting or whatever.
So I'm gonna snatch out all her blood vessels. No, but
like Drainer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But they all can die.
Yeah.
They probably listen. The way that this world is set up, and how everything feels serious, but everyone's like very lax about it.
Mm-hmm. It shows how normal it is.
And I think so you know how there's always tragedy in shonen.
Yes.
Denji he was tragic from the beginning. There was no moment that like kind of cemented it. But like as usual, there's always that one moment in shonen that's like, oh,
This is my way. Yeah, like this is why.
and to the point you mentioned before we started recording, I talked a little about the anime, and I watched the anime, so I am further than what we're discussing today. However, the moments are so specific that I can stop. Like I can prevent myself from discussing further from chapter. Was it 21?
Yes.
This chapter will jump back and forth. 21. It finishes off with them having the drinks and all this, and I'll get into anime later. They actually go out drinking and eating. Makima is there. Aki, Himeno, Kobeni, the other guy, some other dudes that we don't know.
Yeah.
Denji's there, and there was a promise of a reward, and it was a kiss.
Yeah.
A more mature lady. And Denji liked that. He was like, oh, wow, like she knows what she's doing, you know? When watching the anime, I watched this scene first in the anime than the manga.
Okay.
And I went on a watch along of reactions to this episode. Because what happens, Baron?
So, Denji gets a kiss from another woman. So this would be his third kiss, right?
No, this is his first official kiss.
I thought he kissed Power. No, he got to touch her boob.
Yeah.
And then he
first official kiss.
Yeah, this is his first official kiss. So his very first kiss, and it's sensual, and it looks like it's going well. And there definitely needs to be a react. I definitely need to go and watch reaction videos to this, especially for those who haven't read. I'm getting queasy thinking about it.
Pre-emphasis, they're drinking.
Yeah, a lot of drinking.
And Denji's reward person, she's very drunk.
Yes.
She's letting all her sorrows and depression and all that.
Yeah, all the way with Callaway. And
the only one that's not drunk, like people that are like not remotely drunk, pretty much everyone else, but Makima specifically, she's very like observant.
Yeah.
She's very like, she's always observing very coldly.
Yeah, those eyes are always just kind of like meow meow. Like only thing that could have made her creepier is if they made her eyes do the whole it thing, like the whole clown, like
when he does this.
Yeah, and then they just kind of
do that. The actor.
Yeah, freaking Skarsgård. It's a whole bunch of them. I think he's like the youngest of like 3 or 4 actors. Yeah. Just a whole family of just famous people. Their dad's famous too. He was the dude in the Avengers or in Thor, the scientist. I think that's his dad, if I'm not mistaken. And then his brother is from True Blood. Because he's a Skarsgård, right? Yeah, there's like there's 3 of them. Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
But everyone, she's drunk.
Yes. And she throws up all in his mouth as they're making out.
When we mean throw up,
it's not even like a I don't know how throwing up can be cute, but this is like
it's never cute.
Like a must see. Can you make it through this video without gagging? Like I'm trying to talk normal because it's pretty nasty. And it's funny because I can deal, like I've had my kid chuck all over me. I've watched like Green Hell or Green Inferno. Like I like you know what I mean? Like I've seen some crazy stuff. I watched Barbarian. Like, you know, I've seen some stuff. But it's something about this. I've read a good chunk of Berserk. So there's something about this.
You know what it is? It's the fact that it doesn't just happen. It starts by him saying, "Oh wow."
He's describing it. Oh.
He's like, what you think it's the tongue, he's like, oh my god, it's like
Right? At first, I was like, oh shit, she macking him down. Like, excuse my language, I'm all cussing.
she sure is.
Yeah.
And mind you, y'all, he is underage, but
Yes.
age of consent there is different in Japan. So have that in mind with the entire.
That's why they made sure to make him 16.
Yeah.
But
he describes it as, oh, it's so soft. It's like it's dissolving in my mouth and whatever. And he's like, wait a minute. That's not her tongue. And then as soon as he's like, it's her, and then it shows
pans.
her like pivoting away, and it's like the entire like from
looks like a Junji Ito like fan art.
Like the Slug Girl. It's like
it's just full on, and
shoes on it.
Whoa. And then Power, it breaks off to Power talking about how she was like, wait a minute, Denji eats just about anything. And then it goes into a whole past thing where it's him and Pochita like scavenging and surviving, and it goes into a whole thing. Right? I'm not jumping ahead. Isn't that what happened? Yeah. That's like a flashback. Doo doo doo. Like, do you hear the flutes? And then it goes to a flashback.
He's scavenging with Pochita, but there's this animal, I think it's a dog or a cat or whatever, or rats, and they're eating barf. And he's like, oh, wow, how can they resort to eating barf? That's so gross. Haha. He's laughing, and then it pans to him throwing up in the toilet.
Man.
Because he just ate barf. And then he's with the nameless dude, the other dude.
Yep.
And the dude's like, oh, dude, I'm so jealous. Like, you got your first kiss like that. He's like, bro, she barfed in my mouth and you're jealous of me? Like, my first kiss had barf in it.
Yeah.
So we skip forward. He's better.
Yeah.
He leaves. She's drunk as hell.
Yes.
But they go to her place.
Yeah.
I think he passed out.
Now, of course, through all of this, Makima is like on high alert. Like, wait, where's Denji? And like, as she's always. Oh, they even brought that up before we keep going. They brought up how Makima is normally really out and about and moving around doing a bunch of missions, but she's been in Tokyo. They're in Tokyo, right? If I'm not mistaken. They said in that region where they're at because of Denji. Like, and Himeno's like a little butthurt that everybody's in love with Makima. And she's jealous. And then that even rolls over into later on after they leave. Well, they didn't leave. She basically kidnaps him.
She helped him.
Yeah.
And took him to her place. To Himeno's
Definitely
place.
need a siren. Like, because we got to call the law on this one.
Bro, that part. I'm surprised because I saw a lot of people react to this scene, and I didn't see many people being like weirded out. They were like, "Oh, Denji's getting it," and it's like, bro,
no, like
if it was reversed.
Oh, bro, this would have been talked about on the level of Invisible Girl being drawn on the cover.
It'd be talked about to the level of Goblin Slayer episode 1.
Oh, that was horrible.
Because it's non-consensual, and he was.
Yeah.
She was putting alcohol in her mouth and giving it to him by kissing.
Yeah.
That's like.
Oh yeah, because he didn't drink. He didn't drink. Yeah, I forgot about that. And they mentioned it. They was like, "Oh no, I'm 16." And they're like, "Oh, you're so young."
She was.
Yeah.
Was grooming this man.
Yeah.
This kid. So basically, but here's the thing. No harm was done in a way because then she's like, "Want to do it?" She's asking. It
was all consensual, but it was a lot of grooming.
But it was creepy.
It was grooming, 100%.
It was grooming because if it was a man,
doing it, bro,
an older man doing it to a younger girl,
bro,
like
it would have been creepy. I don't think they would have been able to get away with it. There was a manga that a lot of people It wasn't the quintuplets. Which one was it? But beside the point, we
I
know
think I know
that
the
it.
one you mean.
Huh?
I think I know the one you mean.
Yeah,
You didn't even
like
have to say it, but I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah,
I know the
yeah.
one.
Where it just like clearly it was an uncomfortable situation,
Yeah.
and funny enough, they, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of touch on it later, about it being an uncomfortable situation. Um, did
It's
I?
not a good moment.
Yeah, it's not.
It's,
It's not a. It's not a good
not
moment.
proud. He's not proud. Spoiler alert, they don't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
They don't do it. So that's as much as I'm going to talk about the future.
Got you.
You know, she
But
passes
leading,
out.
but leading up to it, it gets pretty sensual. Dingy looks like Dingy's about to, um, export fluids. Um,
More fluid.
yeah, fluids. It's a lot of fluids in this episode. A lot of beverages
Very
and
wet batch of chapters.
yeah, the pages were sticky. But no, Himeno. What does she say? She goes in. I had it up. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
She's some gross. She's listen. She's endearing, like she's charming, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but people kind of like just, oh, Denji, damn, getting it down. It's like,
Yeah, it
come on.
it was definitely rough, man, and especially, and it doesn't help with the fact that like as readers, we know what he's been through.
Yeah,
Like he hasn't
he
had
doesn't
any
know.
form of normalcy
Mm.
throughout any point of his life. So to then get to this point, to jump from first kiss, first drink, first time in a woman, like in a bed with a woman.
First time touching.
Yeah, first time like touching like this. Like it's definitely a lot. And I could easily see a lot of people being hyped about it. But nah,
Yeah.
bro, like it's horrible. This kid, I was gonna say this man. This kid's life is just like spiraling. So,
Yeah, and I think it's the fact that, um, because they already had that, like, oh, if I do this, you get a kiss and whatever. There was already like some intimacy engaged.
yes.
It's and it's not as bad because of all the pre. If it was just out of the blue, and it's like, oh, she's just a predator. But no,
No,
she's
but
like
it definitely was built
everything.
up. And they spent 3 days trapped in an eternal loop. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like there's some form of care that she has towards him.
Yep.
But still, it was the pouring of alcohol, but from mouth to mouth. It just
Yeah,
that scene was
but
so weird.
and this is where she brings up the whole thing of like Aki needs to move on. Now I don't know if she's talking about like Aki moving on period or moving on from,
Killing the gun devil.
yeah, that's what I felt that was about, not so much because I think Aki, like, I don't know if it's just he reveres Makima or he likes her. I wouldn't doubt it if he liked her.
Likes her.
Yeah, it's even in the way when she showed up to the bar because she was the last one to show up. They were all
Yeah.
kind of already partying. He like gets up, straightens up, sobers up, and is like, "Oh, Miss Makima, come sit down." Like it's definitely like a bodyguard.
Because she's the one that's helping him achieve this dream or revenge. Of,
Yeah,
she's giving him all the resources, so he's like, oh shit, like she believes in my dream.
yeah,
And she has this incredible charisma with everyone, and she's able to like tell people what they want to hear
yep,
or what they need to hear. So I don't doubt they had a talk where Aki was like, "Oh, that makes sense."
I
She's
I kind of feel bad for him though, bro. Like clearly she's got a lot going on. She loses rookies. That was a big point. Losing rookies. One of the other like team leads that was there that led the, I guess he led another group of rookies because I think there was 3 or 4 team leads there. There
Yeah.
was Himeno, the weird dude who was telling Denji like, oh yeah, she kisses everybody when she gets drunk. And then there was another guy whose rookie died that day or died the day before. And they started discussing how, oh yeah, most people they're not public safety anymore after like their first job. Like most people quit, like it or die. It was like, yeah, it never. I guess I want to say he went into like the numbers about how it just doesn't, like most people don't last.
Like average.
Yeah, like super low average. Like most people who do this, it's are wait. What about Power talking about her IQ?
Bruh. She was what? She kept upping it up.
Yeah, like
Oh, well, I have this IQ. Oh, well, I deserve a Nobel Prize for an idea I have, and I won't tell you. She truly is like the I'm bluffing the entire time,
yeah,
but like I'm not gonna hide it. She's overconfident. I think it's what
yeah,
she's overconfident, very braggy, but she's so feral. Like I think it's the thing of an animal, you proving that you're stronger. Because when she threatened, I forget who it was. I think it was Kobeni, and she like grabbed Kobeni. And he's like, "Oh, what if I can kill you right now?" Himeno grabbed her with the ghost arm, and
yes,
Power was like, "Okay, okay, okay."
yeah.
You
Like
need
respect the
to
alpha. Very
exactly,
animalistic.
exactly. I think you need to do that with Power. I think like Denji and her are so butting heads so much. It's because they don't really they don't confront each other. They're just like team members, but they're both alphas in a way. I
Mm-hmm.
guess she's very difficult. She's
Um.
she seems annoying to be around.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could totally see that.
I
Like,
appreciate her character, and she's like delightful and cute, whatever. But she's annoying. Like
see,
she that's a characteristic that's like a part of her character, I guess.
I feel like what's without like constantly going all and all. I really want to watch the anime now. Like you gave it high praises. I know it goes further than this. I'm gonna tell you what's probably gonna happen. Because to be real with you guys, for folks watching, I have not read very much manga since we did the last episode. Mainly because just got caught up, and then I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks. And even with watching my anime, um, I've been running back through Black Clover. Like I just put it on, like just to go to sleep to it. Like I've been, like I'm back up to episode like 100. Like I'm dealing with light and everything like that. I'm trying to speak very vaguely because I don't ever want to be super spoilery without warning. Um, but if you know, you know.
Mm.
So I just got back to that point, and it it's more so kind of in the background. Like I'm on the treadmill watching it. I'll have it up when I'm holding my kid and I'm trying to work on something so she can have something to look at. It's there as noise as I'm falling asleep. That it because there's enough episodes, so it felt. And then I've watched it already, or I've watched up to a devil part. I haven't seen past that because I gave it a hard stop. So yeah, there's a lot I haven't seen. So that's why I'm rewatching on top. So I'm kind of just then my wife's into it. But yeah. My point is, I haven't been keeping up with anything, but I'm probably gonna binge read. I'm gonna try not to read too far. Too far being, I want to give myself at least like a 15 chapter gap. Uh,
I
but
mean that you can
oh, I'm gonna
finish
read.
you can finish at the end of part one, and then not read part two.
Okay, what does part one end at? What chapter?
Uh, you'll know.
Okay. Okay.
I,
Okay.
I know. So here's the thing: I haven't read that far, but I know the last page of the. Man, is that a spoiler or not? It's
Yeah,
not a spoiler.
it's a
It,
spoiler. Don't do it.
no.
Uh,
I'm not gonna say it, but like the last page, it's like there's narration. There's a narrating.
oh, got you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So, like folks, I just want to, because for the most part, we covered everything that needs to be covered within those six chapters.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm having all this side dialogue, because we
Right.
could just over and over be talking about how awkward it was and creepy and nasty and the Junji Ito inspired grossness. We could keep going down that path, but no, we don't want to. I don't want to. So I'm just letting you guys know my plans. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna binge. So we might cover this a similar amount of chapters, or we might not.
Let's try and read. Okay, so this is what I was thinking.
Talk to me.
Watch the anime.
Okay.
And then read from the
because the anime is done, right, for the first season.
The anime is done for the first season.
Okay.
It covers like not even a third or like a third almost of the manga, the part 1.
Okay.
So it's like 30, like 20 something chapters.
Okay.
But it's like a very good finale.
Okay, they ended at a good point. Okay, I can live with that.
It's like, oh, there's more, but I'm good with what I got.
Got you. That's fair. Side note, super random. I seen some footage of Vigilante My Hero. Yeah, I seen some footage. Is that legit? Is that like not fan? That's okay. So we're getting there. So now I also got to go and binge read a bunch of My Hero because I stopped a little bit past that point. And once again, I'm using very vague terms because I don't know how far people are, and I want to give people fair.
I'm gonna omit the name.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna. There's a blank. It's the Dark Blank arc.
Yeah.
And if you thought the latest season of My Hero was like going downhill in terms of like dark dark it's getting, it hits the ground. Like,
ooh.
It's borderline like hopeless. Like you don't like you're like society is like done.
I
like,
love that.
What are we doing?
I'm gonna tell you, because once again, and this will be my final thought, and we can cut this one short because we're completely rambling. Right. I absolutely love when heroes don't come out clean. I love that. Like I love like my favorite comic book series that I've read up to date. It's gonna be I can't believe I forgot the name. Holy crap! I could see it when all the DC superheroes basically go to therapy. I forgot the name of it. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. There is a place, I think it's not Sanctuary. I forgot what it's called, where superheroes go to legit get therapy, and where they can take off their cowls, they can take off their capes, and the whole premise is like somebody's trying to reveal it. Because what if society finds out that the superheroes aren't as super as they come off? But it just goes deep, bro. Like you get everybody from Batman to the Flash, like every minor characters that don't have as much big shine outside of the Justice League. Bro. Well, that's the thing. It's an entity that kind of does this.
No person can handle
bro, and it's wild, and I love seeing the vulnerability in the invulnerable, like, you know what I mean? Like I
crazy how the more we grow up, the more we cherish like humanity.
Yes.
In mediums. Because we grow up seeing these people like
Dragon Ball Z. Like, let me just power up one more time. Like, what if you can't power up? Like, what if this is it?
What if that's it?
Yeah.
I
love that. Like, the Watchmen.
I like it when Goku can't go. And he like, and then he needs Frieza and an android to help him.
Yeah.
And
those are the moments I like.
And these are like one in a dozen Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball is like there's no nuance.
Yeah.
But that's why Chainsaw Man is so insane, because it's always layered. And Berserk is so revered because it's always there's not often a only good or only bad person. There's just choices they make. Now, I knew, like in Berserk, there's even people that defend the scummiest of them all.
Oh, fuck! fuck Griffin. But bro,
that man deserves no respect.
no sympathy. I seen a random video on TikTok. There's this lady who lets who gets her parents to watch anime, and they watched Berserk, and they were like, "Oh, don't you trust anybody who says they side with Griffin? Like that is a marker. Like the moment that they say they understand or side with Griffin, you avoid that person like the plague." And they're like, "No, that's just a no pass, no go. Like you no."
I'm so happy that the manga's continuing. We live in the good timeline because Berserk is continuing, Hunter x Hunter's continuing, like, and the fact that you read Berserk and you know what Griffith did, and what he continues to do, but then it gets to a point where you're like, damn, you're so separated from that, and it's like, are you actually better? And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I need to go femto, and it's like, god damn it, I was growing up, I was growing to like you. Now I mean, I love him as a character. He's like one of the best characters ever written, but you're like, oh, maybe there is some redemption, quote, babe, massive quote.
I mean, hell, most people love Vegeta, like, so like
my man didn't.
Yeah. We look,
bro.
Griffith is horrible.
That's the biggest atrocity ever done in a manga in history.
And then it's on Netflix. You could go watch and find out what during the blood. What was it called? Not the Blood War. That's
Eclipse.
Yeah, the Eclipse. Like you can go and see
the infamous Eclipse. When you play Dark Souls 3, when you play Bloodborne. Miyazaki has gone on record on saying that his inspiration for a lot of it is Berserk. There's a sword in Elden Ring with a description that reads about a swordsman that's been like messed up and whatever.
Yeah.
The big swords. What's it called? I forget the name. But
the one. It's
Guts' sword, the big ass sword that he can wield, and only he can wield.
Bro, Guts. For those who don't know, and once again, this will be my final point. Guts has not had a good night's sleep since birth.
Because he's continuously being persecuted by demons.
Yep.
And mind you, these demons, because he's like cursed.
Yeah.
The demons are always looking for him, looking for him to kill him. There's only one. Just recently, without spoiling, he's been able to get some respite. And I won't say more.
Guys, we are the Page Turners. This is Level 1 Gaming. Make sure to get all your gaming news and clearly your manga and anime news from lv1gaming.com. You know what, Walt? Let them know where they can find you.
Here, mostly Mondays now or Tuesdays, depending on how schedules go on, because we got busy lives. DualShock and Sense podcast every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Recently, one of the hosts, Soul Jay, he's been streaming God of War Ragnarok, and recently he just got to the finale. And if not today, this week he's going to be streaming the rolling credits on it completely.
Nice.
The latest stream he did got in a night, it made to 200 views. So he's been going at it.
No, serious. That's huge. That's huge.
We recently did our last year's 2022 awards, where we covered things such as the weirdest Pokemon, or top 4 weirdest Pokemon. We got the best game, the best soundtrack. So go check that out. This week we are. Are
you going to do CES?
I think we're going to do the spoiler cast for God of War.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, are you guys going to cover the CES news? All the stuff that Sony announced?
We're going to wait until the end to see all of the things, because they're like rapid firing news.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff going on. But if not this week, the following week we'll do news, but we always do talk about games we're playing. We always start with that, and then we go into the news or awards. But yeah, go check it out.
Guys, if you've made it to this point and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, share it. It means the world to us, and it helps so much, and it costs you a click. And we hope we've earned, especially if you made it this far, we hope we've earned it. But yes, I'm Baron J67.
And I'm Walt.
Peace.